Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the bronze medal final for the Vancouver Sevens. It will be Ireland taking on Australia. Both sides that certainly would love to take out as many points as possible on the World Sevens Series. And the interesting fact here is both sides are outside of the top five currently. If they want to go for that automatic Olympic qualifying spot, it is number 4 and above. They'll need the win here to help them get those crucial points. Looking through at Ireland starting lineup, it will be McNulty, Jack Kelly, Comerford, Billy Dardis, Mullen, Lennox, and O'Grady, a player who did very well in the last matchup for the Irish. Looking through at Australia, Nathan Lawson, Patterson, Tim Clements, Longbottom, Josh Turner, Darby Lancaster, who's actually sitting on 7 tries so far throughout the competition. And also they have got Sargent, the last man, a slightly newer name into the Aussie Sevens circuit. We'll be excited for his first bronze medal final. But the Aussies were able to beat New Zealand in the quarterfinal matchup, help them get into a good position. They were able to win that game 17 points to 7. Also beating Ireland in the group stage, something we should mention, 21 points to 7. So they've had the one win over the Irish so far this comp. And for the Irish, they were knocked out in the semi-final up against the Argentines, I believe. No, who do they play in the quarterfinals? I know that actually, no, that doesn't work. I know that they lost to Argentina at one point. I think there might have even been a groups. No, that wasn't the group stage. When did they lose to Argentina? Did they lose to Argentina? Am I mixing up my sides? I know that they had their loss a little bit earlier on against the USA. No, they won against the USA. I've confused myself. They beat USA. They lost to Argentina, I think. But the third match playoff going to be taking place now. Nicely taken by Harry McNulty. Kelly goes across now to Hugo Lennox. He had quite a big role to play in their last game for the Irish. They did lose to France or Argentina, one of the two. Is why they are going to be in this case. Yeah, they lost to Argentina. We'll go with that. We covered that game. My brain's gone blank. Nice run forward, Jack Kelly. 40 meters out now. Lennox goes across to the left-hand side to McNulty. Will be prominent throughout this matchup. Good low tackle made on him by Josh Turner, but he finds the offload to Billy Dardis. Wrestled down by Longbottom. Now Lennox again goes to the right-hand side. Phase after phase will be what these boys are aiming for Ireland, just stopping the Aussies from getting a huge amount of the possession in this early stage. Nice work from Mullen. Quick hands, goes out to McNulty. The ball goes backwards. What we're also quickly going to do is I will open the chat on my phone, as I know it's been playing up on the live streaming software. We have got 2 finals just around the corner, New Zealand versus Australia in the women's. And it will be Argentina taking on France in the men's. That's a big drop for Ireland, 22 meters out from their line. The advantage is over, but it's going to be the run-in for Henry Patterson. He's a tough man to put down. He's normally absolutely brilliant what he does. Vancouver, 4th try for Henry Patterson, giving the Aussies the early 5-point lead. Managed to step right through the challenge of Mullen and breaking through the tackle of Lennox as well. He probably is getting up there. 4 tries. It's out of the forwards of the competition, scoring the most. I know that at the moment, Paul Scanlon's sitting at the top of anyone in the comp, sitting there on 9 tries scored. A couple players in that final that might be able to put themselves up there as well. I believe there is one of the French players, Fournier, I think, is sitting on 7. Kick is unsuccessful. 5-0 now for the Australians over Ireland. A good early start to this matchup. Reese Longbottom kicks high. It'll be nicely taken by McNulty. Tackled by Turner, and now they've got the penalty advantage again now for Ireland. And across Lennox. Realise this game will be taking place in the middle of the night. The Irish supporters. For the Australians, it will actually be in the middle of the afternoon, around the lunch break. McNulty Has to play halfback, goes to the right-hand side again, slinging it wider. A little bit of a mistake from Lennox. He does drop it, but it goes backwards. Will we play on just for now? Now to the left-hand side again. McNulty, big fin there. Australia on the ball. The turnover was good. I believe that would have been Nathan Lawson. Did himself the turnover. 3.5 minutes gone in this first half of the match. And every point is crucial, like I mentioned, no matter what. Like, it could be separated by 1 point. We look at that top 5 at the moment. Yes, New Zealand are clear. Then from there, I believe there is a side on 86. There's a side or two also on 85 or so. So there's really minimal gaps. Every point's important. Australia currently sitting 6th. And the Irish, they are sitting 9th, but they have certainly got the potential of getting into the top 8. They keep having decent results. Now it's a beautiful offload. Billy Dardis went for the lobby pass. This should be the first try of the match for the Irish, as I don't believe Lancaster's going to catch him. And instead, it is going to be Niall Comerford does score the first try of the match for Ireland. In 4 minutes, first real attacking opportunity for them there, making the most of it. And Niall Comerford, his first try in Vancouver. Starting exactly how we will want to go on. I mentioned Hong Kong, not too far away from taking place for the 7th Circuit. We will be covering those games on the channel as well. And it's crazy to think that out of the top 5 sides, only Argentina made it through to the semi-finals. They're currently ranked 2nd, so trying to close their gap with New Zealand a little bit. Kiwis finishing 5th in the Sevens competition. And also, I should mention that finishing 9th were the Samoans, finishing 13th were the South Africans. That is also an unsuccessful conversion, so 5-all at the moment between the sides. Billy Dardis going to kick us off, get us back underway. It's just gone the 10 metres. Going to be an advantage knock on against, unfortunately, that man who just scored, Comerford. We'll have a scrum. First real stoppage that they've had throughout this match. Everything else has just been fast-paced, back and forth, taking those quick taps when they do create an opportunity for one. I should also mention in the women's game, the USA finishing 3rd overall. I've been able to finish not too badly in a home away from home game in Vancouver. The men's sevens, they finished 6th. So not too bad overall for the US in the comp. Now Maurice Longbottom goes off to the right-hand side. Beautiful inside pass off to Lancaster. You can see why this man scored 7 tries. He's about to run in his 8th if he goes for the corner. Might get caught by Kelly. No. Gets there in the end. Does just manage to outpace the Irish number 1. But Darby Lancaster, that will be his 8th try of the Vancouver Sevens. If he gets another, he'll be tying with Paul Scallon, I believe, in terms of the stats. In fact, we will quickly refresh, see what we can find out. Lancaster, he is sitting on 7. Fournier was the player I was mentioning for France. He is also on 7. The Irish, Jordan Conroy, he's sitting on 5, but there's some injury concerns with Conroy. He won't be, I believe, coming off the bench for this match, even though he's written down as one of the players who could. I don't think they would risk him because it looked like he had some sort of ankle and knee injury the last match. Kick also going to be unsuccessful, so no one able to get it between the posts as of yet. Lancaster helps out his side to get to 10 points to 5 ahead of Ireland. Australia with Maurice Longbottom will kick off now to the near side and deciding to go long. Trying to grub her into touch. Dardis does well to just stay in the field of play. Now Jack Kelly wrestled down, still inside of their own 22 here, Ireland. Dardis goes across, wide cut out pass. Lennox goes through the hands of the young number 30, Dylan O'Grady, who hasn't had a huge amount to do throughout this match, although now he does get to play halfback. Passes again. Ireland only 5 meters out from their line. Jack Kelly wrestled down. Now McNulty, good spin attempt from, I believe it was actually, who is that? Who's getting back up? Is that Tom Roach? He wasn't actually in the starting lineup, so making an early change here for the Irish by the looks of it. Now Billy Dardis, inside ball lined up early. Great shot put in by would have been Sargent, but the penalty goes the way of the Irish. Now another step from Kelly. Ireland trying to get back into an even playing field by the time they head into the second half. O'Grady now trying to run down the wing. Maurice Longbottom manages to take an ankle down. 30 seconds past the first half siren. They're going to keep on playing, though, by the looks of it. Ireland, Lennox with the inside ball. O'Grady at the moment. One thing I would say is Ireland maybe in their attack so far being a little bit too predictable. The way that they've been going with that inside ball rather than mixing it up a little bit more. And I think if they can mix it up, they'll find a lot of success in the second 7 minutes. McNulty, though, going back across, of course, to get to that second 7, we need the first half to be over. And it doesn't look like either side want this half to end. Kelly with the offload goes backwards. Now Lennox again going back to McNulty. Nice step from Mullen. Moving up to 45 metres out from the Australian line. Dardis goes to Lennox. They've just mentioned that for the Irish, they have actually got a few other players missing from their bench. That's going to be a knock-on. Yes, it is, against Australia. So that will be half-time. 10 points to 5 in this bronze medal matchup. The Australians themselves a little bit of an early lead. Of course, the next game that we will be covering taking place at 2:55 p.m. New Zealand time. So that is in about 17 minutes. That will be the matchup between Australia and New Zealand for the women's final. And then we have got the men's final, France versus Argentina. Seen 28 carries from the Irish, 49 passes completed compared to the 3 that Australia have had. So that just shows how much ball that the Irish have had, yet they haven't been able to turn it into more than just that one try. Whereas the Australians, they've been very clinical the way that they've played. They've made 22 tackles, 7 tackles missed. Ireland making 1 tackle, missing 5. So that makes Ireland's tackling percentage about 18%. Whereas for the Australians, they are sitting a lot closer to that 33% or so, which is still relatively low. But in a game of sevens, of course, a lot of opportunities to be able to break the line. Now just showing the USA celebrating their bronze medal. We're able to win in their last contest. Australia versus New Zealand and the women's not too far away at all. Like at the moment, McNulty doing the team talk, trying to fire up his side for this next 7 minutes. Converted try will get them in the lead. Successfully converted try will put them back to 10 all. Just bit my tongue. It was unfortunate. 16 and a half minutes away from 1 versus 2 on the women's side of the draw. New Zealand, Australia, those two sides have done battle many, many times over. Seems like Portia Woodman at the moment, or Portia Woodman-Whitcliffe, I should say, currently raising her eyebrows. She seems very laid back at the moment, whereas the Australians, they seem like they're really zoned in this current point in time. It's going to be the Irish to kick off the second half. Billy Dardis to get us underway. Still got plenty more depth to come off the bench here for the Australians, whether that's Dunbar, Roach, or Gonzalez. You have to say that their bench is certainly the stronger of the two with the injuries that the Irish have succumbed to throughout Vancouver. And speaking of Roach, I see that he's actually already out on the field. Little knock on the ground from Longbottom. Means it will be the scrum feed for the Irish. Bit of push and shove as well. Looking like it's starting to heat up a little bit out there. 20 seconds gone in the second half. Of course, that's as long as it can take to score a try in the sevens. I believe we saw a 25-second try from New Zealand up against the USA. We've seen a couple quicker than that actually scored also. Time back on. Ireland will have themselves the scrum feed just a little bit outside of the Aussie 22. First try of the second half. If it goes the way of the Irish, they'll be in a good position. Click like and subscribe, Susie. Make sure you heard the man if you haven't already. That's a great run from the Irish. Almost losing the pants in the process. Ball bounces out the side. Not the best ball security there from the Australians. Sorry, from the Irish. And it does lead to Australia now getting themselves the penalty in the process. Right, if you're Aussie, you slow this down. You kick this one for touch. You're deep inside of your own 22. Get downfield, get that line out going. And then should be a lot more successful than taking that quick tap because you just never really know what's going to happen is the best way of describing it. If you're deep in the 22, we've seen Samoa in the past risk a game to try and get out of their own. About 10 metres out from their line, I believe they were, and it ended up with the other team being able to score. Samoa losing that contest. A long bottom. Decides to throw into Lawson's hands. Now long bottom again goes back across. Gonzalez has also made his way out onto the field. I'm using also a lot today. Al Gonzalez. In fact, that time it was actually Sargent who had that ball. A little bit of a skip here from the youngster, Dally Bird. Close to the touchline on the far side. Now a lot of pressure on Patterson. Two Irish players swarm on him, trying to keep him held up. Looks like he somehow still found the offload, but it was risky. Longbottom, though, picks it up and accelerates. It's going to be a foot race between him and the Irish number 24, and he's been able to cut him off up until he stepped round him, and Longbottom scores the try. Worst thing there for Zach Ward is he made all the hard meters. He managed to get to Maurice Longbottom, but then just ended up getting stepped. Then he wasn't able to accelerate quite quick enough. But it was well picked up by Maurice Longbottom. The ball was free after McNulty, and another Irish player did put the pressure on Henry Patterson. Then down that short side, it was a good chase from Zach Ward, who was fresh from just coming off the bench. Then steps across a little bit too quickly, and Maurice Longbottom manages to score the try. See him celebrating there, Longbottom. Happy enough with that one. The kick is once again unsuccessful, so we haven't seen a single kick go over as of yet, even though we have seen 4 tries throughout this matchup. But 28 years of age, Longbottom, still got a few years left in the Seventh Circuit, I would think. A few people dressed as clouds. Luckily, there's a roof on the stadium, so we don't have to worry about rain, no matter what the weather is like outside of it. Mark Roach dragged down 5 meters out from his own line. Penalty goes the way of the Aussies. And this could be the massive deciding one because Gonzalez goes wide. Australia will get the run and try. A little bit of push and shove there afterwards, but Lawson will score, and Australia now extend their lead to 20 points to 5. Could this one now be the first kick we see go over? That was actually Lawson's first try of the Vancouver Sevens as well, I should mention. Gonzalez took the quick tap. Mark Roach, huge amount of pressure on him, had nowhere to go. The Aussies well and truly got around him. Then Lawson. It's not going to be an easy kick, though. Zach Ward having a bit of a chat with him afterwards as well. Kick is unsuccessful. 5 kicks missed by the 2 kickers in this match. Now, that is quite a crucial try, I was going to say, for the Australians, because that means the difference now is 14 points between them. Or more than 14. It's now 15. I did do maths at school, I swear. Now it is going to be kicked off short by Stu Dunbar. Claimed by the youngster O'Grady. Penalty goes the way of Ireland. They have no time to kick this ball into touch. They just need to keep it alive. Zach Ward now trying to step around Dietrich Roach. Good step as well. Almost went through, but Patterson, who's had a phenomenal game, able to take him down. Gonzalez just thrown away out of that breakdown. Almost kept it from being a knock on. Yes, he did. Now hands out for gold. Dietrich Roach went right in afterwards, but they do say that it is allowed. Ireland take it straight back, though. It's a bit of a seesaw in that one. Believe it went from Ireland having the ball to Australia, then back to Ireland, and now Ireland with the line break with O'Grady. Wrestled to his back, placing the ball. He did an extra little bit of a roll there. The penalty goes the way of Australia, who will be able to now just kick this ball downfield into touch, use up as much time on the clock as they can. But 4 penalties against the Irish compared to the 2 against Australia. Certainly been one of the difference makers in this contest. Like maybe Matthew Gonzalez got some sort of injury. Come off the bench for the Australians alongside this man Dunbar, who now boots that ball into touch. The last thing you want to do is risk an injury, so I wouldn't be surprised if Gonzalez goes off if Australia do have another option. In fact, he's going to go off the field, but only to take the line out. Then he will be back out there. He's gone with the big long pass across, forward pass from the Aussies, and now the scrum feed will be in favour of Ireland. They're trying to get this one going as quickly as they can, but as we know, a scrum takes about maybe 15 to 20 seconds to be able to get set in a game of sevens. And Australia will try and extend that out to maybe about 20 to 25 if they can get away with it. Now crouching. Australia, few extra seconds. They're still not crouched. Okay, now he is crouched. I was going to say the fella on the far side was just standing up as if he was having a regular chat. Now, Mark Roach going back. Ireland, they cannot win this game, but they can get themselves a little bit closer. Roach again goes on the outside this time. Will be Comerford, the lone try scorer for the Irish. McDonald to claim it from behind him. Now Zach Ward going down the wing, face to face with Henry Patterson. Was able to drop him in the tackle, gets over the ball, manages the turnover almost, although McDonald now has been able to get on the ball. Australia get the penalty. Ends out 14, they've said, and I believe Australia will just take this tap, kick it into touch, and claim themselves the bronze medals, or the bronze medal, I should say, in this playoff game. But the Australians winning at 20 points to 5. The next game that we have got will be kicking off in only about 7 minutes' time. That is between Australia women's side and New Zealand. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Like I mentioned, we will see you back for 2 grand finals just around the corner. Australia versus New Zealand and Argentina versus France.